Hello, my name is Adrienne Lee from Adrienne Lee Joywork, and this is your Moonday message weekly energy forecast for the week of April 20th, 2020. And this week we are welcoming in the dark moon on Wednesday, the new moon, where it will not be visible in the sky. And in the energy of the new moon, we are technically currently in the balsamic phase, so a moon cycle is ending, the next one is beginning, and this is a really good time for us to perform release ritual or decide what it is we want to let go from this last moon cycle so that we can welcome in new during this new moon cycle. And the new moon is a beautiful time to plant the seeds of our future manifestations. It's the time where we place the seeds in the dark soil of our psyche, of our life, so that we can reap the rewards as the moon cycle comes to fruition. And this week is going to be a really interesting one for us collectively. The card that came forth to support us in this week is the Four of Cups. And as you can see from this picture, the Four of Cups can have a heaviness to it. It is a card associated first with the element of water. The Suit of Cups is related directly to water. And water means so many things for so many different groups and cultures and practices. In my Five Rhythms practice, it relates to chaos. It relates to busyness, letting go, yes, no, all the things. Water can be cleansing. Water can be fast moving. It can be quite still. In the tarot, it relates to the waters of the emotional body. And the Four of Cups in particular speaks to coming to a place, a point in life, a transition where we are experiencing grief, loss, potentially regret. It represents a time of stillness and looking at how we have used our time previously, at our choices made previously, at the ways in which we have spent our life force, our time, how we've shared our love, how we've treated our people, the jobs we have chosen. Oftentimes it will speak to a person who is reaching the middle point in life, which is generally a time where people tend to think on the way they've lived their life and make the choices they feel necessary as they transition into their elderhood. But since this is relating to us as a collective, I'm seeing it as a space of heaviness, of really feeling into the infrastructure that we have in place, the way we've all fallen into line with the indoctrination that we've been fed our entire lifetimes based on the culture that we are collectively co-creating. I sense that a lot of us might be feeling into this. I know as I'm watching or getting reports about my children and how they are taking to learning online, that they are able to get done the learning that they're meant to be doing in 2 to 3 hours. And yet we have a system set up where they have to go to school 8 hours a day, sitting in these desks. And then for myself personally, looking back on my life, my programming, my indoctrination, and thinking, oh man, since we were born, we've been placed into these systems that have prepared us to be the good little worker bee, the really busy one, the one that works the majority of our lives away from our families, outside of our homes, to the point of exhaustion, so that we can barely pay our bills and get up and do it the next day. I'm sensing here in the Four of Cups a coming to realization that maybe the life that has been put on pause wasn't so great. I mean, our friends are awesome, our communities are awesome. It is good to have work. It is good to be busy with our hands. It is good to make a contribution. But really looking at the structures that we have in place and coming to terms with what our own personal belief systems are around those systems. Do we think it's okay that other people should raise our children? Do we think it is okay that we have to work 8, 10, 12 hours a day in order to be considered a viable citizen, in order to be considered as though we are contributing our fair share to the economy and our community? It's amazing how much work I'm able to get done in very short bursts of time and still have time to have rest and time to have relaxation and community connection, family connection. But in our current system, it's not possible. And so the Four of Cups speaks to the emotional turmoil, the emotional going through, just really tapping into the emotions that are present as we come to terms with what we've been accepting as normal reality pre-COVID-19, and now coming to terms with what is our current reality, current COVID-19, and the emotions and unsettling discomfort that's coming forward as we attempt to collectively imagine what's going to happen post-COVID-19. So this week, as we're going into the dark moon, it's going to be fraught with feelings. I'm imagining you might have felt it over the weekend. The weekend was quite intense as well. And that energy is here to assist us. It's here to assist us in cleansing the emotional body and getting that energy moving so that we can be clear-headed and ready when the time comes to speak our truths about what it is we're looking for in our lives moving forward. Because there's no status quo to go back to. We get to reimagine. We get to reimagine our world. It's quite a fascinating time to be alive. And the word that popped out for us this week is flexibility. And this is going to be much needed, I feel, for the rest of this year, actually. Allowing our minds to soften enough that we can be flexible in our expectations, flexible in our preferences, flexible in the ways in which we attempt to get our needs met. The rules aren't the same. And flexibility is going to allow us the comfort and space to ride this wave without getting completely and totally overwhelmed every single time. If we can soften enough to recognize that I am not going to get all of my preferences met for the next few months. I'm not going to get all of my expectations. I'm probably not going to meet all of my financial goals. There are definitely a lot of plans that are not going to occur, a lot of vacations that got canceled, a lot of hopes and dreams that have been put on pause. Can I be flexible enough to say, okay, and what's the medicine? What's the gift? What's going to be coming in instead that I couldn't have even imagined? And the stone that came forward for us this week is Apophyllite. And Apophyllite is a beautiful stone that connects us with the etheric realm. It connects us with our allies, with those unseen, our ancestors. any beings that we feel support from, whether you have a deep connection with them yet or not. We all have some, whether it be those who have passed on before us or a plant or animal ally that we feel particularly drawn to and supported by. Apophyllite says, now is the time to lean on these friends. Now is the time for prayer, for contemplation, for making offerings, for allowing ourselves to surrender and relax into the web of life. And even in the midst of the deep feelings that are coming through the Four of Cups, to know that our hearts are still held and that this too shall pass. All will change. All will be well. We just have to keep showing up and doing our best for each other, for ourselves, for our families. Baby steps. Baby steps. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you are enjoying these. If you would like to check out more of my offerings, I would like to invite you to my website at adrianleejoywork.com. I have mystery moon medicine packages that are beginning next month with little bits of magic in them for subscribers, as well as some other more affordable offerings coming your way, because I'm sensing that what we might need most right now is to retain our sense of magic and mystery and wonder in this life that we are all gifted, because it really is something special that we are all alive right now on this planet, and that we are able to be part of the great change that is coming. I hope you're well and that you have all that you need, and I will see you next week.